Hi one and all, it's Nikki and I am back with some more top 10 foreign musicals for you. In the previous video I did my top 5 French and top 5 German musicals, and now I'm going to share with you my top 10 Czech musicals. There's a lot more in the Czech category because they produce a lot more of original musicals, and it also helps that when I lived in England I used to go across to Prague reasonably regularly, at least once a year over sort of few years before I came out here, and whenever I went I used to go and see a few shows, usually 2 or 3 of them, so quite a number of these I've actually seen live, which obviously also affects my enjoyment of them because I'm so much more familiar with them than just from a CD. So kicking us off at number 1 is Dracula, which I will have mentioned, you may remember already, in my top 10 vampire musicals as number 1. It is a fantastic show. As I said in that video, it's not really Bram Stoker's Dracula. It's got its whole original storyline going on that takes us from, like, you know, olden days all the way through to Victorian and then into like modern era with casinos and biker gangs, and beautiful score, really orchestral, sweeping music, gorgeous songs, and it's definitely worth checking out. It's available on DVD, guys, and you'll find clips of it on YouTube here as well, both the original production from the 1990s plus the new DVD version from 2009, which is the version I saw live, and I saw Dan Hulke as Dracula, and he is just sublime. I love Dan Hulke. Moving on, number 2, Johanka Zaku, Joan of Arc. Now this is a fairly typical Czech musical. There's a few that are more orchestral, sweeping scores like Dracula, but most of them are a little bit more poppy. Often there's not a live band, it's just tracks that they sing to, and it's a bit more of a pop music kind of feel to them. So Johanka Zaku, as you would expect, is about Joan of Arc. It takes us, you know, from when she remembers hearing voices for the first time to when she goes to meet the Dauphin and then leads the armies into France and then eventually is captured and killed. It's got some really lovely songs. The role of Johanka is a really nice role. It's some great stuff to sing. Yeah, it's very interesting. It's kind of got a clever use of modern technology as well that the Czechs do quite a lot. They really love projecting stuff in Czech musicals. There are some key staples of Czech musicals, perhaps I should quickly mention them. Projection, they love it. Flaming torches. There's nearly always a flaming torch, and if there's not a flaming torch, you know, demand your money back. And semi-nude dancers. They really quite like scantily clad dancers that they'll bring on by any means possible. So those are the 3 things to always watch out for in Czech musicals. Number 3, Obraz Doriana Gray, Picture of Dorian Gray. Now this is a show about which I have so many regrets because they brought out a DVD. Perhaps I should go back and say Johanka Zaku is also on DVD, and you'll probably find it around on YouTube, clips of it. So coming back to Obraz Doriana Gray, they brought out a DVD. Now I saw this show live on stage and loved it. And the DVD wasn't available at that time, but later I discovered they brought one out. And I was really thrilled, but the trouble was I'd moved here by this point, and to get a copy was going to be hugely expensive. Even though the DVD itself was okay priced, when you added the postage, it just like went skyrocket. So I kept putting it off. I kept saying to myself, oh yeah, when I've got some cash, I'll get it. And it sat on my wish list for several years. I finally had some cash and thought about it and thought, now I'm going to finally get it. Went to the shop, placed the order, only to be told that they could no longer find one. They don't tend to stick around for that long, the Czech musicals. They're on DVD, they have them out for a little while, and then it becomes really hard to get them. So you can no longer get it. And whereas quite a few of them are around on YouTube, I've never found that one on there. If anyone knows where I can get a copy of Obraz Doriana Gray, please, please, please put it in the comments because I really, really want one. I do have the CD, but I'd love to see the show again because it was visually very well done. It follows the book pretty reasonably well, and again, just really nice music, some really memorable songs. I don't have lyrics for this one, so I find it harder to learn the songs by heart, but I can sing bits and pieces of them here and there. Number 4, Tajemství, which kind of means that sort of secret or mystery, probably leaning more towards secret, I guess, in the translation there. I should say I speak a little Czech. I'm self-taught. I can read and write a basic letter and understand like song lyrics and that, but I'm not completely fluent, so I do my best to translate some of these things for you. But Tajemství is a really delightful story. It involves sort of a mysterious deaths and tarot cards and werewolves and an ancient family curse. I can't really say any more without completely ruining the story because there's a big twist in it. Again, a very poppy one, plenty of memorable songs, catchy tunes, and on DVD again. Number 5, Monte Cristo, based on the Count of Monte Cristo. This is more, again, coming back to the Dracula style, a little bit more sweepingly orchestral, a bit less poppy. Some beautiful numbers. One of my favourite has always been Heidi's song on Monte Cristo. Moi Monte Cristo, or Monte Cristo is the reprise. Very catchy tune, beautiful lyrics. Now this one they filmed for TV. I don't think it was ever officially released on DVD, but I have seen clips of it, and I think even the whole thing might be floating around YouTube. So do have a look. And this is another one that starred Dan Holker. He played Monte Cristo. So do have a look. Coming back to the more pop style ones, we have number 6, Cleopatra. Based, as you would expect, on the life of Cleopatra. It kind of kicks off where she first meets Caesar, and then goes through her relationship with Caesar, then her relationship with Mark Antony, up until Octavius comes over and invades, and she and Mark Antony die. So again, very poppy one, but very catchy. Yeah, it's on DVD. Have a look. Number 7, Galileo. Again, similar vein to Cleopatra, quite poppy. This one was written by Janek Ledecki, who also wrote Hamlet, which is a little further down the list in a minute. He's a pop singer. A lot of the people that act in Czech musicals are pop singers or rock singers, and in between their tours and albums they do a musical or two. So quite a lot of their famous singers go into musicals. Josef Wojtek, Lucy Bieler, Dan Hulker's a little bit different, he's more opera, Thomas Truppel. Most of these people are big musical theatre stars who are also big pop stars. So there's a big crossover. If I stop saying big, that would be good, wouldn't it? So Galileo, anyway, based, as you would expect again from the title, on the life of Galileo. Very poppy, but some really great numbers. There's one or two scenes that I find a little bit dull, but then you'll get another really great number after it, which kicks it off again, which is why it's kind of on the list, but a bit further down. Number 8, Crisage. Now Crisage means rat catcher, and it's his name, that's his job title. It's sort of a little bit based on the Pied Piper of Hamelin, but it really revolves around, you know, Crisage comes to town and there's these two factions that are warring in the town, and when he goes in to kill the rats, unfortunately someone's asleep in the barn and ends up dying too, which then sparks this big feud between those who are against Crisage and then the other faction who support him and say it wasn't his fault. And then there's a romance element with you know, the mayor's daughter and Crisage, and it's not quite, I'd say it's not quite as memorable in some ways as some of the others, but there are one or two really standout songs, and overall I like the show. Number 9, Tři Musketeři, the Three Musketeers. Again, another very poppy one. Starred a lot of pop singers, both Czech and Slovakian actually. Pavel Habera played D'Artagnan in some performances. And again, there's some really nice numbers, and you know, maybe overall it's a little bit too poppy, but it depends on your point of view and what sort of style music you like, really. If you love pop music, then you'll probably love this. But it has some great moments again, and it's on DVD again. I should go back and say Cleopatra and Galileo, both on DVD, and Crisage, again, it was one that was filmed for TV, so I think you will find it around, at least clips of it, even though I don't think there was an official DVD release. And so finally we come to number 10. Now I actually couldn't pick. I was really struggling to choose between two, so I thought I'd just mention both of them briefly. Number 1 I already mentioned regarding Galileo earlier, which is Hamlet, musical of Hamlet, which Janek Ledecki also did. And again, it's similar. There's some really great songs. There's a couple of moments where I feel the show drags a little bit, but then another really good song comes along and makes up for it. It's on DVD, it'll be around on YouTube, check it out. And the last one I want to mention is Golem, which is another, not quite as orchestral as Dracula Monte Cristo, but heading that way a bit less than the pop side of things again. This one's on DVD as well, and it's a story of clashes between the Jews and the Christians, and so the rabbi creates a golem to try and protect the community, but the golem ends up, the spell's done wrong, and the golem ends up falling in love with the rabbi's daughter, who's in love with a Christian, just to really complicate things. Some beautiful songs again, and I love the staging of this one, and yeah, it's just a really fun show. So those are my top 10 Czech musicals. As I said, most of them are on DVD, or you'll definitely find clips of them around on YouTube. So do take a look. Even if you don't speak Czech, quite a few of them, the DVDs do have English subtitles available. But they're great. It's just great to hear the music as well. So have a look. And I will be back and do another video soon with my top English musicals. Bye for now.